dear students, today we will discuss the transmission system. That is first module of automobile engineering. So just I have drawn the transmission layout showing various important components of transmission system. This block diagram I have drawn. This is the front side of the vehicle. That is top view. Suppose I have drawn. This is front side of the vehicle, rear side of the vehicle. These two are the front wheel. So this diagram, that is transmission layout for four-wheeler. So this is front axle, rear axle, front wheel assembly, rear wheel assembly. Wheel assembly consists of wheels and tire along with axle, either front axle or rear axle. So first component of transmission system is engine. Students, one separate subject you already studied in 5th semester, that is internal combustion engine. So as per our syllabus, internal combustion engine not included. You already familiar. So first important component of automobile transmission system is engine. So prime mover is internal combustion engine. Okay. So in some electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles, okay, internal combustion engine is replaced by battery. So, but in maximum vehicles, prime mover is internal combustion engine. So function of transmission system, main function is to transmit the engine power to road wheels. That is, it will transmit the engine power to driving wheels, you can say that. So either driving wheels are rear wheel or front wheel. It depends on either wheel is front wheel driven vehicle or rear wheel driven vehicle, or front wheel drive is incorporated or rear wheel drive is incorporated. Suppose rear wheel drive is incorporated, then engine power is transmitted to rear axle via various transmission elements. So suppose wheel is front wheel driven vehicle, then engine power is transmitted to front axle. So this content we will discuss later, okay, during study of bodies and chassis engineering. So remember, engine first transmit the power to clutch via flywheel. So E notation for engine, F for flywheel, C for clutch. So engine will transmit the motion and power to clutch via flywheel. Then clutch will further transmit the power to gearbox. So gearbox also called as transmission unit. So it has the same importance as that of engine, gearbox. So gearbox again transmit the power to propeller shaft via universal joint. So propeller shaft transmit the power to final drive. Final drive will transmit the power to differential. So differential will transmit the power to axle, that is driving axle. So axle will transmit the power to wheels, that is driving wheels. The wheels will transmit the power to tire. Thus there is the motion of vehicle. So Automobile means self-propelled vehicle, you can say that. So, student, the first important component in transmission system is clutch. So as per vehicle is concerned or automobile is concerned, friction clutches and hydraulic clutches are popularly used in a vehicle. So, friction clutches, you might have aware, single plate, then multi-plate, home clutch, and centrifugal clutch. These are the four friction clutches popularly used in a vehicle. So hydraulic clutches. So hydraulic clutches are used in a semi-automatic or automatic transmission. So first hydraulic clutch, fluid flywheel. Second, torque converter. So torque converter is popularly used. So in orientation lecture we already discussed various types of friction clutches, working of single plate clutch, multi-plate clutch, four clutch, single clutch. So single plate clutch application, heavy duty vehicles or medium duty vehicles. Multi-plate clutch in two-wheeler popularly used. Four clutch, light duty vehicles, centrifugal clutch. Example, mopeds. Then all these friction clutches are used in a manual transmission. That is, what is meant by manual transmission? That is, need of pressing the clutch pedal is required to achieve the desired speed reduction, you can say that. So, during starting of vehicle, so generally we are shifting the clutch, then changing the gear lever. So first gear we are getting. So in first gear vehicle speed is less, go down engine is more. So again after some interval of time we are converting vehicle from first to second gear, and second to third to top. Okay, suppose 3 speed reduction gearbox is used, then there are total 4 reduction. Sorry, if 3 stage speed reduction gearbox is used, 3 different speed ratio we are getting. So clutching and declutching is required as per manual clutches are concerned. So in hydraulic clutches, automatic clutching and declutching takes place. No need to press the clutch pedal. So hydraulic clutches, so popularly used is torque converter. So torque converter, in which 3 important components, that is pump, turbine and stator. In fluid coupling only pump and turbine. That is, by adding stator in fluid flywheel or fluid coupling, we are getting torque converter. So some modification is done in fluid coupling, we are getting torque converter. So torque converter more efficient as compared to fluid flywheel. So friction clutches, there is a direct contact between driving member and driven member of clutch. So in hydraulic clutch, there will not be any direct contact between driving shaft or driven shaft. You can say that your driving member of clutch and driven member of clutch. Friction will not be associated with indirect contact between driving and driven member or driving shaft and driven shaft. So less fatigue to driver, hydraulic clutches are used. That's why it is used in a semi-automatic or fully automatic transmission. Other than this, other clutches, that is magnetic clutch, electromagnetic clutch, are used in some advanced car. Okay, that we are not going to discuss, for not included in academic. If you have any queries regarding magnetic clutch, electromagnetic clutch, okay, you can discuss with me. So just go through the magnetic clutch, electromagnetic clutch, okay. Few vehicles magnetic clutch are used. So that will be the study for advanced learner, okay. So next component after clutch, second component is the gearbox. Student, gearbox. So different speed reduction are achieved with the help of gearbox. See, student, motion of vehicle is altered. Okay, that is speed is altered depending on the load condition. So for particular load, that is if vehicle is at high load, then lesser speed ratio, lesser speed reduction should be attained by vehicle. Suppose vehicle is moving at higher speed. Generally, vehicle is moving at higher speed or maximum speed of vehicle, we are getting in top gear. Okay, so top gear, in top gear, load on engine is lesser. So as load on engine is lesser, so speed of vehicle is more. Okay. So load and speed are indirectly proportional to each other. So gearbox. So desired speed reduction we are getting with the help of gearbox. The first gearbox is sliding mesh. Second one is the constant mesh. Third one is the synchro mesh. Fourth one is the planetary gearbox. Sliding mesh nowadays absolute one. Constant mesh, in few vehicles constant mesh is used. The popularly used gearbox in a vehicle is synchro mesh. That is, in manual transmission today, manual transmission, synchro mesh type of gearbox is popularly used. We will discuss what is the construction and working of sliding mesh, constant mesh, synchro mesh and planetary gearbox. If you understand construction and working of one of the gearbox, it will be easy to understand construction and working for other gearbox. So planetary gearbox is used in automatic transmission. So planetary gearbox is a special type of gearbox in which epicyclic gear train, that is more than one set of epicyclic gear train are used. 2 speed reduction gearbox, 2 set of epicyclic gear train. With 3 speed reduction gearbox, 3 set of epicyclic gear train, and so on. In sliding mesh, constant mesh, synchro mesh. Generally, certain gears are mounted on main shaft of the gearbox, and certain gears are mounted on intermediate shaft or counter shaft, you can say that. So counter shaft also called as lay shaft. So in a gearbox, at least 2 shafts are present. So So main shaft and counter shaft. Possibility of addition of intermediate shaft. Okay. So but at least two shafts are present so that gears are mounted on main shaft and counter shaft. So for particular speed reduction there will be the meshing of specific gear on main shaft and counter shaft, so that desired speed reduction will be achieved. So student, sliding mesh absolute one. So synchro mesh popularly used in manual transmission and automatic transmission, planetary gearbox. So these four types of gearbox we will discuss in detail. Next, power from main shaft of gearbox. Power from output of gearbox or output shaft of gearbox is given to propeller shaft. Propeller shaft Propeller shaft is the third important component of automobile transmission system. So propeller shaft then is a hollow shaft, okay, because hollow shaft has a more strength against torsion. So propeller shaft is the rotating shaft, more severe stress is the torsional shear stress, okay. As only we are dealing with construction and working of various standard automobile system and components, okay, I will not mix up the design constraint or design details, okay, in automobile system, okay. So, advanced learner can think about, okay. So propeller shaft, it is the hollow shaft. So propeller shaft at least one in number or more than one in number, okay, one or more than one. You will say why more than one propeller shaft are required. See student, if the distance between gearbox and driving axle is more, for example cargo vehicles or heavy duty vehicles, that is truck or cargo vehicles, distance between gearbox and driving axle is more. So if single propeller shaft is used, then length of shaft will be more. If length is more, so you are already familiar with the theory of long pulse. So if L by D ratio or L by width ratio is greater than 20, then buckling of column takes place. Same possibility of buckling of propeller shaft, okay, that is failure of propeller shaft due to buckling stress. So to avoid buckling, generally if distance is more, so more than one propeller shaft we are using, and that propeller shaft are joined with gearbox, or two propeller shaft are joined with each other by using different types of coupling, universal joint or coupling. UJ. So propeller shaft and universal joint is our third component. Propeller shaft and universal joint. So propeller shaft with sliding joint or propeller shaft with slip joint is preferable. That part we will discuss later. Okay. So propeller shaft, one or more than one in number with slip joint or without slip joint, that is either sliding joint or slip joint. So with the help of slip joint, length of propeller shaft can be altered, that is length of propeller shaft either increase or decrease if slip joint is used. That is the advantage of slip joint instead of sliding joint. Again, universal joint. I think you are familiar about the certain universal joint, that is hook joint, coupling, Oldham coupling. Okay. So generalized classification of universal joint, that is constant velocity joint and variable velocity joint. Different types of constant velocity joint, different types of variable velocity joint. Okay, that joint we'll discuss in that. Okay, so first we'll summarize different important components of transmission system. Student, after propeller shaft, next component will be the final drive. Student, final drive, it is connected in between propeller shaft and differential. So, final drive either gear drive or chain drive. So popularly used are gear drive. In short, here this is propeller shaft. Suppose I will consider a gear drive as a final drive. So generally popularly used gear drive are meshing of two bevel gear. So two straight bevel gear or spiral bevel gear. So popularly used are straight bevel gear. So bevel pinion is connected to propeller shaft. Bigger bevel gear is connected to differential shaft, or bigger bevel gear is also called as crown wheel, you can say that. So thus power from propeller shaft, that is motion and power from propeller shaft, is transmitted to differential via final drive. So this meshing of two gears is called as final drive. So if gear drive is used. So more popularly used are the bevel gear as a final drive, but in older days verb and verb wheel, this combination also used, but nowadays gear drive, from gear drive bevel gear are popularly used. So thus power from propeller shaft is given to differential via final drive. Okay? The fourth component is the final drive. Student, Next component is the differential. Differential. Differential is a special epicyclic gear train. So differential will transmit the power to driving shaft. So generally these two driving shafts are up shaft. Okay. So driving axle generally consists of two half shafts. So this is first half shaft, this is second half shaft. Half shaft or half axle you can say, driving axle. The rear axle is suppose driving axle. Student, differential. It is a special epicyclic gear train. You already studied different types of epicyclic gear train. So, differential. So, student, differential is a special epicyclic gear train. In which all gears are moving. Students, you already studied various types of gear train. The third category is the gear train is epicyclic gear train. It is first simple gear train, compound gear train, then epicyclic gear train. Epicyclic gear train, you have done the motion and force analysis, in which at least one of the gear is fixed, but if all the gears are moving, then corresponding category of epicyclic gear train is called as differential, in which all gears are moving. So student, in differential, two special gears are used, that is sun gear and planet gear. So sun gear are connected to two half shafts. Like this is sun gear, first sun gear, this is second sun gear. So sun gears are connected to two half shafts or two half axle, that is driving axle. Then planet gear. Planet gear are connected to ground wheel via planet carrier. You can say that. The marking of planet gear on planet carrier. So sun and planet gear will transmit the power from final drive. There is power from final drive is transmitted to ground wheel. That is, ground wheel will transmit the power to planet gear, planet to sun gear to the two half shafts. Simple. So, student, differential. In two-wheeler, no need of differential. So, what is the role of differential? Diploma student might have about the vital role of differential. Just think about it. Student, during turning of vehicle, differential comes in picture. When vehicles takes either left turn or right turn, then differential comes in picture. When vehicle is moving in a straight line path, so differential is ideal. So need of differential in four-wheeler. So it is required in the when vehicles takes either left turn or right turn. So see, if vehicle is taking, suppose vehicle is taking left turn, then right wheels must be rotated to a greater extent. That is, turning radius of outer wheel must be greater than that of the inner wheel. So this can be done via differential. That is, speed variation will be achieved with the help of differential. In detail, we will discuss one of the construction details, working of differential. Momentarily, remember, power for 500 is given to differential to the axle. Different types of differential. First one is the conventional differential. Conventional. Conventional no slip type of differential. So no slip is also called as self-locking differential. The third one is the double speed reduction type of differential. Student, next component in a automobile transmission system, there is 6 component axle. The front axle and rear axle. So driving axle may be front axle or driving axle may be rear axle. So student, last component of automobile transmission system is the axle. So in a vehicle, front axle and rear axle. The front axle, possibility of live axle or driving axle is nothing but the axle to which engine power is transmitted. So in certain vehicles, front axle is the live axle. In certain vehicles, rear axle is the live axle. So the front axle is the live axle. The front axle is the live axle, then that vehicle is called a front wheel driven vehicle. If rear axle is the live axle or driving axle, then that vehicle is called a rear wheel driven vehicle. Then its engine power is transmitted to rear axle, rear wheel drive. If engine power is transmitted to front axle, front wheel drive vehicle. Suppose engine power is transmitted to all vehicles, all wheel drive or four-wheel drive, you can say that. All-wheel drive vehicle or four-wheel drive vehicle. That is, engine power is transmitted to both axles, that is front axle as well as rear axle. In certain special vehicles, that is military vehicles, engine power is transmitted to both the axle, front axle as well as rear axle. So student, let's do the investigation. What are the advantage and disadvantage of all-wheel drive vehicle? If engine power is transmitted to both the axles, automatically more power will be consumed. Okay, but in certain vehicles, engine power is transmitted to both the axles. Let's do the investigation. Now, student, location of engine in transmission system. So, location of engine may be at front side, maybe at rear side. So, in heavy duty vehicles generally, for example truck, bus, it is nearer to front side. In modern cars, okay, front side or possibly rear side, but in heavy duty vehicles it is nearer to front axle, you can say that. So mounting of engine maybe to the front to the vehicle, rear to the vehicle, at the center region. Okay, so, students, this is all about the transmission system. So important components we have studied with transmission layout for 4-wheeler. So, hello students, we will discuss the construction and working of sliding mesh gearbox. Student, in final exam all theoretical questions will be asked, there will not be any numerical. So point wise discussion is important. For example, first point will be the working principle, second will be the construction detail, third point will be the working. Next point will be the advantage and disadvantage of that system, automobile system or automobile component. Applications. Okay, so you must have to write down point wise. Then diagram is very important. In maximum question, if you came across that, you must have to draw the wheel level link diagram. Okay, so diagram has certain weightage, that is 20 to 30% weightage for diagram. Student, today we will discuss sliding mesh gearbox. So it is used in a manual transmission. So it is the first category of gearbox used in vehicles. Nowadays, absolute one in vehicle. In recent, this gearbox not at all used. So certain modifications are done in sliding mesh. So that will be the constant mesh gearbox. Again, modifications are done in constant mesh. You will get the synchro mesh gearbox. Synchro mesh gearbox nowadays popularly used in a manual transmission. So if you understand the construction of working of sliding mesh, then constant mesh and synchro mesh will easily understand. See student, output shaft of a clutch, there is clutch shaft, output shaft of a clutch is connected to main shaft of gearbox. So that is power from clutch is given to the gearbox. So this is the main shaft of gearbox. As per our discussion is concerned, I have drawn the diagram of 3-speed induction gearbox. Only 3-speed ratio we are getting, or 3 varying speed we are getting, or 3 velocity ratio we are getting. So vehicle will get 3 different speed. So, see student, on shaft number 1, that is on main shaft. See, gear number 4 and 6 are mounted. There is 2 gears are mounted on main shaft. There will be 1 gear on clutch shaft. So main shaft is the important component of gearbox. Students, gear number 4 and 6 mounted on main shaft. Similarly on counter shaft, gear number 2, gear number 3, gear number 5, gear number 7 are mounted. Gear number 8 is mounted on intermediate shaft, that is I. So this idler gear used to get the reverse gear. Student, main shaft, this is the counter shaft. Counter shaft, also called as line shaft. So several gears are mounted on counter shaft, several gears are mounted on main shaft. Student, how the power or motion will be transmitted from clutch to gearbox and then from gearbox to the propeller shaft. That we already discussed. So here different speed reduction will be achieved by the gearbox. Okay. So I have shown the engagement of gears or position of this gearbox when vehicle is at first gear. So student, see, when there is engagement of driving and driven shaft of a clutch, then power from driving shaft of a clutch is given to the driven shaft of a clutch. So clutch shaft is nothing but a driven shaft. So this output shaft of a clutch is connected to the gearbox. Student, see, in first gear how the motion is transmitted or power is transmitted. So from clutch shaft it is transmitted to gear 1, from gear 1 to gear 2. Gear 2 is mounted on counter shaft. From gear 2 directly to gear 3, gear 5. Okay, since 3 and 5 are mounted on the same shaft. So from gear 5 to gear 6. Gear 6 it is mounted on main shaft. From gear 6 to the output of main shaft. This output of main shaft, output main shaft, it is connected to the propeller shaft. Now see, main shaft is a spline shaft. Why splines are provided? So that movement of gear 4 and 6 will be possible. So in first gear, gear number 6 is in engagement with gear number 5. So in second gear, gear number 3 and gear number 4 are in contact. Okay, gear number 3 and gear number 4. In that case, gear number 5 and gear number 6 will not be in contact. Okay, so there will not be a meshing of gear number 5 and 6 when vehicle is at gear number 2. That is first gear will be operated when what we are doing. First we will start the vehicle, then we will press the clutch pedal. So after pressing the clutch pedal, we will press the gear lever. The vehicle is at first gear. So all these things we are doing in instantaneous time. So load will be more, speed will be lesser. That is, load on engine will be more, speed of vehicle lesser, okay, during first gear. Now suddenly inertia force of a vehicle is decreased up to certain extent. So load slightly decrease. Load slightly decrease. Okay. So speed slightly increases. So vehicle is at second gear, you can say that. Second gear, higher speed as compared to the first gear. The vehicle speed will be more as compared to the first gear. So in that case, 5 and 6, sorry, 3 and 4 are in one tap. So when vehicle is at second gear, see how the transmission layout from gear number 1 to gear number 2, gear number 2 to gear number 3, gear number 3 to gear number 4, and gear number 4 to the main shaft. Okay, that is output shaft of gearbox. Now see, when vehicle is at top gear, okay, as 3-speed reduction gearbox, third gear will be the top gear. Maximum speed we are getting at third gear. So third gear is the top gear, and corresponding sliding wedge gearbox is 3-speed reduction gearbox. So when vehicle is at top gear, higher speed we are getting, that is M. Speed will be maximum, load on the engine will be minimum. So vehicle executes more speed or executes maximum speed, the vehicle is at top gear. Now in four-wheeler, two-wheeler reverse gear is not required. In four-wheeler reverse gear is required. So some situation this reverse gear is required. So transmission layout, how the power is transmitted from 1 to 2, from 1 to 2, then directly to gear number 7, okay, 7, 8 and 6, that is gear number 8 and gear number 6 are is in contact. So they will not be meshing of 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. They will be meshing of 6 and 8. So thus main shaft will rotate in the opposite direction or from the clockwise direction. So propeller shaft has a reverse direction, so vehicle will move in a, so that is the vehicle has a backward motion, you can say that. Now neutral gear. In neutral gear there will not be transmission of power from clutch to gearbox. So only gear number 1 and 2 are in contact, okay? Other gears are in a disengaged position, you can say. Student, this type of gearbox nowadays not at all used. So generally in sliding mesh gearbox, all these gears are spurring gear. Spurring gear are used. Now students, second category is the constant mesh gearbox. So this this is the first type of gearbox. Second category is the constant main gearbox. So main is constant mesh. Why? Because gears on main shaft and counter shaft are in contact with each other. That is, constant mesh are always in contact with each other. But with the help of dog clutches, that is this type of DC is nothing but the dog clutch. So remember, only addition of dog clutches, and one more modification. Gears on counter shaft and main shaft are always in mesh, but dog clutch will take care of suitable power transmission or suitable speed reduction. The student, in a constant mesh, dog clutches are incorporated and gears on main shaft and counter shaft are always in contact with each other. So there are more advantages, several more advantages than that of the sliding mesh type of gears. Now student, again constant mesh is used in very few vehicles, so absolute one you can say. The third category, that is synchro mesh, used in a manual transmission. So again, in a synchro mesh, what modification we are doing? So instead of the dog clutches, synchronizing device we are incorporating. So dog clutches are replaced by synchronizing device. So just think about it. What are the advantages of synchronizing device? I will give 1 minute. Student, synchronizing device. There is one problem in constant mesh gearbox. If there are dog clutches which are mounted on main shaft, so dog clutches are not mounted on counter shaft. So that dog clutches, double declutching is required. That is, operator must have to press the clutch pedal twice, 2 times clutching and declutching. So double declutching is required. So that will be the hectic process. So possibility of gear to failure, okay, sudden jerk is experienced by vehicle. Okay, so there will not be smooth power transmission from engine to propeller shaft via gearbox. due to this double declension. So this problem is eliminated by using synchronizing device. Just go through the details of synchronizing device, working principle of synchronizing device. Just I am discussing which are the modifications done in a constant mesh gearbox. So there will be the better performance of a gearbox. Where synchro mesh gearbox, synchronizing device is used. So popularly used gearbox in manual transmission is the synchro mesh type of gearbox. Now student, only one category is remaining. Epicyclic train type of gearbox or planetary gearbox. Student, gears used in sliding mesh and spur gear. In constant mesh gearbox, helical gears are used. In synchro mesh, again helical gear. Now next category is the epicyclic train type of gearbox. Again, epicyclic train type of gearbox is also called as planetary gearbox. So planetary gearbox in which assembly of sun and planet gear along with ring gear or for ring gear. Outer gear is the ring gear, sun and planet gear. So planet gear is the intermediate gear. So sun and ring gear are respectively connected to driving and driven shaft. That is, one gear is connected to clutch shaft, another gear is connected to propeller shaft. Now, student, it is cyclic gear train. Just it has popularly used in an advanced car. With the help of epicyclic gear train, there will be the manual transmission. Manual transmission is replaced by automatic transmission. What is the automatic transmission? So no need of clutching, declutching. That is, no need to press the clutch pedal. That is the advantage of automatic transmission. No need to change a gear lever or gear knob. So no need to press clutch pedal, no need to operate gear lever or gear knob. So there will not be lesser fatigue, I will say, lesser fatigue to a driver. So it's used in an advanced car, that is Mercedes-Benz, Ferrari, okay, that is advanced cars as planetary gearbox. So, student, in automatic transmission along with planetary gearbox, clutch, friction clutches will not be used. So, hydraulic clutch will be used. From hydraulic clutch, torque converter will be used. So, torque converter is a indirect engagement of clutch shaft, that is indirect engagement of engine shaft and gearbox shaft with the help of torque converter. So torque converter has the important component: pump, turbine and stator. First category of hydraulic clutch is the fluid flywheel of fluid coupling. Only pump and turbine are present. So stator will be the additional element as per torque converter last concept. Student, just go to the planetary gearbox, torque converter. If you understand the working of friction clutches, same working principle we can apply to torque converter. Similarly, if you understand sliding mesh gearbox, that knowledge, okay, you can apply the analogy of sliding mesh gearbox to Compton mesh, then synchro mesh, then planetary gearbox. Okay, so this is about the various types of gearbox. Thank you.